All right, can you guys hear me now? All right, can you guys hear me now? All right, good. So, did you guys not hear anything I was talking about before with Nike or WSM or any of those? All right, so I'll go over Nike again because that is the one trade that I did put on today. So we talked a little bit about this in chat yesterday. Nike obviously did beat earnings, so that was one thing that we were watching with it. Daily chart looks good. It was the weekly chart that I pointed out yesterday in chat over the $90 resistance that you wanted it to be above. So that right now is your big support area. So anything over $90, I would say it is a good long for right now. And that's something that we're going to continue to watch here. But I did get into calls today. So the reason why I got in today was based on the 1 hour chart. So when this loads up here, so you can see the big jump over earnings. It held through after hours and pre-market and then started coming down yesterday. Now this morning we saw another big jump up, which was a real good sign for it, and then it started coming back down. So it did hold that same support from yesterday. And this pattern here, when you see a large buy candle followed by two smaller sell candles, followed by a larger buy candle, that's a good indication to go long. And that's actually what I used in this for this trade to get that 80 delta call, which should be up pretty decent right now. I mean, I only bought one of the calls here, but yeah, so it's only up $15. So it's up a little bit here, but obviously with a smaller account, I am playing the charts much smaller, not being as aggressive here. So just trying to get 20, 30, 40% profit in each trade here. So I do feel pretty good with that one. Obviously, the goal here going to 92.80 to touch that resistance again. That's probably where I would look to close out the call I just purchased. And if it does get there, because the 80 delta, we're looking about probably about $100 profit on this trade here. So, but I'm gonna take a look here at the markets again because I just got an alert saying that we had negative ticks, which we do. So on my flexible grid for Think or Swim, I typically keep the futures on. So I've got /NQ, which is the NASDAQ, /ES, which is SPX, and /RTY, which is the Russell. The Russell is one that I watch every single day. The Russell is a leading indicator of the market. So I do suggest that you guys kind of get used to that. So you can either do /RTY, which is actually the futures, RUT, which is the actual Russell 2000 index, or even the IWM, which is another one that we typically do trade quite often here. But yeah, you can see, like I said, I got an alert saying that we did have some negative ticks. So it is coming back. So the market does seem like it is still pretty heavy. So be careful going along with all too much here. The other chart that I've been watching today that I did not get into was WSM. And this again was based around the 1 hour chart, showing a nice pennant flag. And with that, I'm expecting probably another bounce back down here. And then I would expect a break over the $68 area. But the problem with this one is there's very little volume. So we do have some open interest, but look at the volume today. It's just terrible volume today. You can see that there are 20 calls bought in the 67.50 and also 20 puts bought. So I'm guessing either somebody did a strangle on that or a straddle. And it's just not enough going on here for me to really jump in. A lot of open interest, but I still want to see more volume on the daily before I get into something. But this is one. Keep this in the back of your head. This is one that I really like this setup a lot to go long. Just not the right time right now. Is there anything that you guys want to go through, go over, questions? I can go over the SPY trade today, which I did a little bit this morning. If you were in chat this morning, talked about that a little bit. And actually, you can see it's bouncing right off that level again, that 296.62 level again. So if you are still short SPY right now, you're probably still going to be okay, because it does look like that 296 area really is holding. We can do some scans. I can run through any specific charts if you guys want to look at anything. Ian, will you please spell out what studies you have up in this chart, or in general, which ones do you have in all your charts? Yeah, so typically with the chart, I use I'm going to have a whole lot more in here than what I actually am showing. But what I typically use is the moving averages, which I will use a 15 exponential moving average and the 50 simple moving average. So that's a big basis. And you can actually see on my chart, you can see where it says entry signal, exit signal, entry signal. Those are actually when the moving averages cross. So this is a big one for me. So I use a lot with the 15 and 50. And actually, one of our members here actually built this study for me, so that I could see entry signals, exit signals, and that actually does work on each one of the different studies. So you can see all my exits, entry, exit. You can see on SPY we had a exit signal at 296.76. Which was actually after I put that put on. But obviously, like I said, if you're still in that put, you're probably still okay. The other ones that I use on here, I do have Darvis Box. A good book to read is a book called How I Made $2 Million in the Market by Nicholas Darvis. And what he does is uses a set support and resistance. And when a certain stock that he's watching will completely break out of that, and breakout is, whatever you want to call breakout would be your own way. But when he does that, that's always his entry and exit to get in. So you can see here, this is part of a Darvis box. These yellow lines that are through here, those are Darvis box. Now TOS does have one. Again, like I said, I do have the one I use is modified. And I can send that out to you guys if you would like to use that. But it's a simple way of finding support and resistance in a smaller move. So what Nicholas Darvis would do is between this support and this support and this resistance on SPY, he would not enter this trade until it actually broke out one way or another. So he would only go long if it broke above 302.22, and he would only be short if it was below 281.67. So he does not play anything in between that. But you can see here, same setup, you would have gone long here and then you would have lost. So it is up to you how it all works. As I always say, every study works 100% of the time until it doesn't. And, get used to certain studies, fall in love with the studies and use those, and try to avoid the noise. These are just what I use, but there's thousands of different other ones. The other studies that I use, you can see I write my own price levels on a lot of the charts, just based on support and resistance that I see that might not come up automatically through some of the studies. So this is one that I went through this morning during the SPY trade with the different price levels. So the 297.16 was where I was going to stop out if it confirmed closed over, and then 296.62 is where I wanted it to be below, and with my goal of 294.49 of what I was looking for SPY to hit earlier, but obviously it did bounce, and I decided to take profit regardless because that's what I do. And worst thing to do is have a good profit and lose that, and have to start all over with that one. So, but as far as the studies on here, I don't use a lot. Like I said, the 15 exponential, 50 simple moving averages. I have my Darvis box, and then support and resistance, and then I obviously type in my own levels as well. But studies, I mean, I have hundreds and thousands of studies that I could use. I also do actually here a good one is actually the TTM scalper alert. So that's actually a pretty good one. If you guys want to put that on your chart, that'll actually put arrows up or down when a TTM squeeze has happened. TTM trend is the candlesticks that I use. So obviously these are different than a standard candlestick. These are actually using the TTM squeeze to show trends. So right now you can see on the daily chart, SPY is trending down based on this candlestick study. And those are really it. I mean, I have automatic channels that can be put in there. I have different volume studies. I try to keep it fairly simple. I know there's a lot of times where I might post a chart and it's pretty confusing with what I have on there, and I try to avoid that. Look at, apparently Tesla just spiked up. I almost went short Tesla today. Look at that. Well, that would have been a good one to get into. China Renaissance starts Tesla at buy with 324 price target. Interesting. See how that one goes. So keep that one on your radar too. That Tesla's one of those that can run with the best of them, even with or without the market. So that's something to make sure we keep an eye on. You can see this nice intraday channel that's fixed in today. So right there's your resistance, and we'll see if that holds or not. But then you also have another, which now would be a support at 232. So you have about $1 movement that could go either way with this one. But it looks like Tesla's probably going to try to break through that. But yeah, we'll see. That's something we'll keep an eye on. I do have it here on my watch list as well. Does anybody have any charts they want to go over, take a look at? Yeah, market coming down, Tesla still going up. See if we can make a couple bucks off this in our cash account. I have a couple $100 still left in there. We're at 235. We would have to be very aggressive. About 240. I'm not going to alert this one, just so you guys know. This is a very risky day trade. Just gonna risk a couple $100. Had a couple $100 sitting in there. see what happens. So I'll put this in chat what I just did. I actually bought these, only two of them. That's very, very risky. Broke out of that channel. We'll see if it holds. Market's coming down, it's not going to help. Might be one need to swing, but all right, well, I mean, if you guys don't have anything to go over, and I guess I can get off the mic unless you guys have something to talk about, something you guys want to work on. Okay, Nanda. So as far as scans, I don't run a whole lot of scans. So what I do is I have a watch list of different stocks that I keep up here. So my watch list actually has built in squeeze, I guess a squeeze study that shows me what's squeezing, what's not squeezing, and how and what to watch. So on here you can see, so as an example, there you go, Amazon is showing that on the, let me expand this out here and I'll pull one of these up too while we do that. So on here, so I have a weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, and 5 minute. So on this watch list, this is actually showing me what's squeezing and what's not squeezing through here. So it's actually showing me here that Amazon is squeezing short on the 5 minute. So you have an S for short and L for long, but it's squeezing long on the 10 minute. So you could actually pull this up here and probably see exactly that. So on the 5 minute, you can see it is starting to squeeze down here on the 5 minute, and it is in a downtrend on the short side. So on a 10 minute, it is on a squeeze again, and you can see that it actually was squeezing to the upside, and still is slightly. So this is what I really use to put up my daily watch list. Is I just follow the stocks and anything that's looking good, anything that I think is going to be making a big move is what I put on there. Obviously, what I put in there, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And, just want to make sure that you guys aren't following that 100%, but it does give you an idea for what to watch for that day. Why is the time frame important? 5 minute versus 10 minute? Because they all show different things. So a 5 minute chart is going to show something different than a 10-minute chart. A 10-minute chart is going to show something different than a 30-minute chart. You can see just on my watch list the different squeezes. Let me see if I have a good example of one. A lot of times what you'll see is here's Disney, on a 4-hour chart, Disney is firing long. Okay, so on a 4-hour chart, Disney looks good to go long. which actually to me it does not. So I wouldn't trust that one. So I wouldn't uh, use that right now. What I used on the trade with Disney was actually the 130 support, which got blown through today, bounced above, and now is threatening it again. Um, but each chart tells you a different story. So right now, to me, this 4 hour chart in Disney is saying that Disney is going to continue down. This 4 hour chart in Disney looks terrible. So if I weren't in Disney, I would say don't get in Disney. Obviously, I am in Disney, so it's unfortunate timing I got in. But you can see when I got in, it looked like it was making a reversal on a nice support area. So hopefully that 130 area is going to hold, but it's not looking like it on the longer term. What do you mean by what does the squeeze mean? So a squeeze is basically when there is when the stock's moving sideways. There's a certain amount of buyers and sellers, and they're basically right on with each other. So there's the same amount of buyers as there's the same amount of sellers. Um, Using that chart, one of those is going to win eventually. A squeeze isn't meaning it's going to go up. A squeeze isn't meaning it's going to go down. It's going to make a big move one way or another. The longer the squeeze, the larger the move. That is true, but it's hard to predict which way it's going to go. So all you can do is use the studies that you have to try to make the best educated decision on what's going to happen with the stock in the future. Sorry, I got another alert. I thought. So and right now you can see with Tesla, it's showing a squeeze firing long in the 10 minute and the 15 minute. Surprisingly, nothing on the 5 minute, but that might just because that move was too big. To be in which trade? Disney or Tesla? Oh, any trade, it's different for each trade. I have set parameters that I want for each trade. So if I want to make 20% on Disney, or if I want to make 50%, I'm gonna wait till that hits. Now, like this one with that I just put on while you guys are watching with Tesla. Depending on what happens here, I might swing this. I mean, this is right now. This chart's looking great to continue up. So, this is something that I might just continue and hold this overnight and see what happens. I did a very small trade. I only traded 2 contracts because this was in my cash account. I was thinking I was going to do a quick scalp. But with this said now, I mean at 236.80, this might not slow down. So each trade is different. Disney was a put credit spread at 130. So, typically with my put credit spreads, I look for 30 to 50%. But right now with Disney right on that 130 mark, that's something I need to watch closely. If I get 15% out of it, I might close it. You know, if Disney continues to fall, I mean, I have not much premium left. I mean, I think we're basically, what are we on? Yeah, October 4th. So I only have 6 days left of premium on Disney. So it's not something that I can say, you know, for on this trade I'm looking for 20%, on this trade I'm looking for 50%. Each trade is different, and I follow the market all day. So when the market's doing something, if the market reverses, you know, I might close out a trade because I'm ready to get out, or I don't trust it. Um, so again, with possible outcomes, it's different every single day. So I watch the market every single day. So it's hard for me to say on a certain trade to look for this or a certain trade to look for that, because the market changes, especially with this news driven market. It's tough. You know, this is a very tough market to trade. So it's something that, you know, luckily I'm lucky enough to be able to watch the market as close as I can. Man, look at Tesla. Jeez. That Tesla trade, if anybody got in, we're up 50% right now. So I hope somebody at least followed that. I mean, I just did it here live with you guys. So I think Tesla's probably gonna try to get back up to this 240 area. You know, there is some big sell-offs. But I am gonna go ahead and we're gonna take profit on that, I think. But man, it does not look like it's trying to stop, is it? Unbelievable. So that trade is now up 70%. And still going, man. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you got in. I'm glad somebody got in. I wish I would have alerted it now, but you know, it is what it is. All right. Well, we're over 100%, so we'll let it run a little bit and see what it does here. Is there any other charts you guys want to go over? It's funny. I actually almost went short Tesla today too. You can see this little this channel. I was waiting for it to break below. It's a good thing I didn't. It's one of those things. Well, it's always a good thing to have patience because I mean, example just like this, when I was watching it to go short, breaking it below 227, right around this exit is where I almost got in, and it bounced back up, and I decided not to do it, and then boom, look at this. $166. Shop. Yeah, I almost got in the shop yesterday too. Um, Let me pull this other one up here. Yeah, I almost got into shop yesterday. I don't know what it's doing today. It's still pretty flat. Yep, yesterday. Kind of thought it might pull back a little bit today. I think shop is going to continue to the upside. So if you are long it and you're down a little bit today, I don't think it's a bad thing what's going on. I mean, it went, I forget what it was, how much was it yesterday? From 285 to 315. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge move. So there are going to be people who are going to be taking profit with that. And you are seeing that today. And for the market being down, for shop to only be down 2%, 2.5%, that's not bad after that massive move yesterday. I do think shop is going to rebound. This is one that I'm watching. Here, you can actually see the levels I put in yesterday when I was watching it. So yeah, look at that. So it bounced right off of that 316 level I had in yesterday. So I guess with that being said, could you see a retrace? Yeah, you could see a retrace to 287. I would assume that we're going to see it come back down to 300 and then ramp up from there. But right now, if you're not in it today from yesterday, I don't think I would get in as a new trade today. Because like I said, I think you could see 300 hit again and then a bounce. Worst case scenario, you are going to get back down to your 288 level. But I do think it bounces. I mean, this is a name that got beat up pretty bad for no reason. I think it's something that buyers are going to come back into it. But like I said, I do not think today is the day to enter. Yeah, the video should be available to review later. I'm pretty sure I can save it. If I can't save it, I'll figure that out. I did not record this. I wish I would have. But I'm hoping that either YouTube or the program that I use to record the or to stream these um, does save it. I just have not looked into that, to be honest. But yes, moving forward, the idea is to have these available to review later, because I know not everybody can be in here to watch these. And I did just close out of Tesla. Nice job, Tom. There's a quick 200% trade there. All right, so let's see what else is going on. Nike's starting to get a little bit heavy. Hourly chart still good. Not worried about anything there. We have Apple. And so Apple's one of those that is in a pretty big squeeze right now. I am a little concerned with Apple. I mean, going up against these all-time highs, it's struggling. I was hoping to break through this at 221 area, and obviously, we have for a little bit, but not been able to hold it. Down 0.5% today. What's the market at? Ticks are low. Market's down 0.35%. IWM is not good. Apple's pretty red too. Let's see, MasterCard didn't make my move. John Deere didn't make my move. BA's holding 386. Square didn't break that area I pointed earlier, and this morning, if you guys were watching that one, where I said I didn't want to short. Which I should have shorted. Yep, right here was when I said I didn't want to short an upgrade. Could have had a nice day trade down. All right. Looks like it's might be trying to come back up though. Yep, so here's an example. Looks like it's trying to fight back up on the 15 minute. And then on your 5 minute chart, it is showing a 2 squeeze long. And you can see it is in a squeeze down here, those 2 black dots. Right here, you got a ST compound breakout tool, which is another one, custom one that was paid for, where it did say go long with the 2 squeezes on the 5 minutes, 10 minutes coming down. That was a 4 earlier. So square might be one to watch here too. This would be another good one to possibly day trade, I think. Now I can't do that in my new account. And I don't know if I want to swing this going into Friday. So I am going to hold off on this one. But it does look good right now. If this 5 minute holds above $60.50, I think going long this might be okay. But again, I'm not comfortable holding this name overnight into Friday right now. But man, that could fly though. Look at that resistance right here. If that breaks, you could have a $3 or $4 move easy in the next day or two. Watch this one close. This might be something that I do swing. I like this setup a lot. It just has to get over this hump. If it can get over this area, I think you could see a big move with square. So 60-50 is a big area to watch on the 1 hour. Am I right about that? I'm sorry, 60-70. I'm blind. Don't worry about me. 60-70. So that didn't look right on the daily chart. So 60-70, a big area here in square. You get over that, and I mean, you got a small support, small resistance right here at 61.60, and you break 61.60 and you could fly. I mean, you're talking at least a $3 or $4 move. Oh. And then yeah, if you break that one, you've got this big gap to fill. So I'll tell you what I would look at doing right here with square is I think I might actually look to play the gap fill on this one at 60-70. I don't know if it's ready yet. These are what I would play. I would play the November 75 calls at 70 cents. It's a lottery ticket. Probably not going to hit. But if it does hit, if you can fill this gap, shoot, you're talking 4 or 5,000% gain from here. $20 move on a 70-cent option. That's huge. But you're firing short on the daily. But after today, I mean, that's going to break. That's breaking out. Just can't get over this area. Tom, I'm looking at the monthly, so the November 15th. Right now, trading for 70 cents and 72 cents. Now, when's their earnings? November 6th earnings. Okay. So I'm going to do that. This is a lotto. I'm going to do this small. Because I don't think this is going to hit. And hold on. Not yet. Might want to wait till tomorrow. And the only reason why I say that is because it's struggling pretty bad. After an upgrade like this, this stock should be flying. So just the price action isn't working right now. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that. But don't forget about that trade. All right. Well, hopefully you guys made a couple $100 off of that trade. And if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'm not going anywhere, but right now I'm just kind of watching the market, seeing what's going on. Ticks ticks pretty flat. ES moving up. There's a Foot Locker alert. It's not terrible. Nice jump up. Consolidation. Trades like Tesla happen all the time, Tom. Just a matter of being there to get them. Unfortunately, I can't alert trades like that because it's pretty risky, and B, this actually might not be too bad. B, it's the day trading's tough with a alert system like this. By the time I get that text out to everybody, it's typically too late at that point. Now, what we can do is in these chat rooms I can alert those as well. So yeah, I used to do stuff like that all the time. My old account, I just can't alert it. But yeah, now with my new cash account, I can maybe do one or two of those a day. I mean, right now between that SPY trade and Tesla trade, I mean that was what, $700? What was that? 614 bucks. So $614 out of $1,000 account, 64% in one account. I'll take that all day. So, yeah, I mean, I'll keep every time I get on here and do something live. We'll always look for something like that. But for a good swing trade, Foot Locker might not be a bad one for us to potentially get into. Although I am in Nike now and I don't want to be in too much retail. I don't like retail. But Nike is one of those that just unbelievably great run company. What type of retail does not get affected by Chinese tariffs? That's amazing. So look at the market trying to rebound. All right, well, I'm going to get off the mic. I am going to be around, so if you guys do have anything else, I can jump back on the mic and take a look at anything for you. So if you guys have any questions, let me know.